Hello and welcome back to the channel once again. If you're a returning viewer, welcome to the channel if you're a new viewer. It's a new year. This is our first wrestling related video of the year. So this is the first of our new content for the new year in terms of wrestling content. Quite ironically, we're actually going back in time for this one. This is Leanne Presents. I should probably lead in with that. So I am one of your hosts. I am Alan. This is the other host, the one who's really going to be giving the reactions today. This is Leanne.
Yay, me.
We hope everyone had a great holiday season, wherever you celebrate, wherever you celebrated, whoever you celebrated with. But it's a new year and we're getting back on track with new content for you guys. And we hope you're enjoying it. As you've already seen from the title card, this is a, I guess, a reactions or a revisiting, for me anyway, it's a revisiting of the Royal Rumble 1992. With Royal Rumble coming up, as this gets posted, it'll be 2 weeks until the 2023 Royal Rumble. It's quite exciting, and they haven't really announced much at the moment for the Royal Rumble. They've had 2 matches and 3 competitors across both Royal Rumble, and it's like, well, that feels a bit light, you know, but anyway, they know what they're doing. I think. I hope. I mean, I hope see. Triple H got more sense anyway. But this is a request from our friend Nick. He wanted us to have a bit of a dive into Royal Rumble 92. Leanne's never seen this before. I've seen it a handful of times. I've seen the event fully through a handful of times. And it's just one of those events, which is, I always love the Royal Rumble. It's one of my favourite events. So this took place on January 19th in 1992 at the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York. And it had some 17,000 or so fans in attendance. There were 6 matches in total. So it probably isn't going to go too long, depending on how long we talk about the Royal Rumble stuff. And the one caveat with the Royal Rumble this year was that after some controversy with Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker, where Undertaker won the belt via non-legal means, I guess you'd call it, and then Hulk won back via also non-legal means, where you kind of, what's good for one's good for the other, I guess he was in that sense. The president of the WWF at the time, Jack Tunney, stripped him of the title and put it on the line in the Royal Rumble match instead. Up until this point, the Royal Rumble had not been the winner gets a WrestleMania title match. That did come into play until 1993's Royal Rumble. But this is the first of only 2 times that the championship has been decided in the Royal Rumble match.
So previously then, the Royal Rumble was for a championship match, but...
No.
It
was just,
random
I
stuff.
won the Rumble. It was just like bragging rights. You know, I outlasted 29 other guys to win the Royal Rumble. Effectively, that's what it was.
Cool.
Yeah, so with that, I think that's all I can really lead into. I'm going to throw it over.
Let's get into it.
Oh, you didn't catch it.
Oh. Rags has got it.
Oh, hi, Rags.
Rags,
yeah, there we go. Good
Thanks,
boy.
Rags.
Good boy, Rags.
Yeah, Royal Rumble 92. It's very early 90s. It's that, like...
Colour.
It's got the leftovers of the 80s. They're still holding on there. It's vibrant. It's great. Lots of fun. Lots of kids attending. Because it's that sort of era where we got...
Yes.
It's kid friendly, a bit cartoonish, but we love it.
Yeah, superhero-y, cartoony. Yeah, that's fair.
So we open with a sort of roll call of the stars that are going to be in the Royal Rumble, which was good. There were a few faces, a few names that I recognised.
I don't know, it was just a minute and I literally
I
checked it. It's a 1 minute and 9 seconds of Vince McMahon going, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, The Warlord, It's like, oh, geez, Vince, really? You're going to go through all of the competitors?
Considering they're all getting announced when they enter the Rumble itself anyway. But it was quite interesting because there were names that faces that I recognised, but not the names necessarily.
Yeah, some different gimmicks and whatnot.
Interesting to see.
And it must have tripped you out seeing a really young Undertaker. I know you've seen it before, but it's still catching me off guard.
But
yeah, it still catches me a bit off guard.
Very different. It's cool. Then we get into our first match, which is the Orient Express, which is Pat Tanaka and Kato, with Mr. Fuji as their manager. And they're against the New Foundation, which is Jim the Anvil, Neidhart, and Owen Hart. The Rocket,
The Rocket, Owen Hart.
The Rocket, Owen Hart.
Just as a quick thing, I actually misspoke. There's 5 matches, not 6.
Oh.
One of them was a dark match.
Oh, okay.
So the page listed it as 6. There's actually 5 that
But
occurs
we
on
didn't
the
see
event.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. This was really, really good. I very much enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I was completely surprised at how much I enjoyed this one.
It was such a good opener, and I've heard a lot about Owen Hart. I've heard like the tragedy of Owen Hart. I haven't seen much of him wrestling, and he was incredible. So good.
Yeah. I mean, he's the brother of Bret the Hitman Hart and the son of legendary Stu Hart, so...
Just raw talent.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
One thing that surprised me with Owen Hart, and it's one of the... So, a lot of my own Hart exposure came from WrestleMania 12 onwards, where he always used to wear singlets.
Right.
So, the majority of his top half was covered by straps, going down to there, and then that was all covered. In this, he was just having the trousers and a bare chest. And I was surprised how thick he is.
Oh, he's thick. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Huh? Where did that come from? What?
Yeah.
That really caught me off guard.
It's sort of a very big man for...
But yeah, he's such a high flyer as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those innovators of the high flying sort of style.
Yeah, he was definitely the highlight of this match for me. I did love seeing Jim.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Jim the Anvil. Yeah.
For some reason, it doesn't sound right in my head, but yeah.
That's Natalia's dad.
Yeah, because I've seen him quite a bit in the Divas and stuff.
Oh yeah, the reality show stuff.
Following Natalia.
Yeah.
But seeing him in his prime wrestling is something quite special as well.
Yeah, again, he could go really quick as well. He could move for a big man. You know, and it's. I think that's a bit of a telling thing in this time. You've got like the Legion of Doom, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Warlord. They could all really move for such big guys.
Yeah.
Even like Natural Disasters. You know, they are bigger in a different way.
Yes.
But they could still move quite quick when they wanted to. You know, and that was just like, wait, what?
It's so good.
And I think these days they kind of try and keep the bigger guys slow.
Yeah.
And the smaller guys quick, because that's kind of makes more sense. But I kind of like the idea of a big guy just flying at you, almost like a Brian Cage. That I'd sort of switching tactic a little bit to AEW and Ring of Honor. Brian Cage is really quick.
Yeah.
And he can really go, and the muscle on him is insane.
I know,
you know?
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I do think a little bit that Owen and Jim Neidhart kind of stole the thunder a little bit from the Orient Express. But again, that's probably something to do with me not knowing them.
To be fair, they were the biggest stars going into this anyway.
Yeah.
At this point, Jim the Anvil Neidhart would have been teaming for years with Bret the Hitman Hart as the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
I'm not
they
sure.
already had that.
Yeah, I can't remember when or what year or month they kind of split up from being the Hart Foundation, but obviously Owen Hart came up. He was on his own for a bit, and then obviously they teamed up with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. After this, I think it was maybe the middle of 1992, Owen Hart paired up with Coco Beware. And they became High Energy, and it was all bright colours and blues and yellows and whites and blacks and the checkered patterns and stuff. But it was cool seeing Jim the Anvil Neidhart in something other than the Pink and Black Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
And being with Owen Hart for a bit, and I thought that was really cool, and it was something different, which was quite nice. What are you doing, Rags?
Rags is pawing at
Whoa.
me. He wants to eat my hand.
Come on, stop.
It was a very fun finish on this one. Okay, I guess before the finish, we did have some interference from Mr. Fuji.
There's always going to be interference from Fuji.
It looked like they were going to do the obvious thing because he had the cane and he was sort of wielding it a little bit. I thought they were going to go down the obvious route of hooking around someone's ankle as they were running the ropes.
Candy cane shape.
Yeah, it's a proper cane sort of thing. But they didn't. Instead, he very swiftly hooks it onto the rope in the corner, so that my notes went a bit funny. So Owen got slung right into it. It made an amazing crack sound.
Hell of a sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell of a
Something
sound.
a bit of a surprise considering it's not new content, but yeah, I like that. And the finish was rocket launcher, they called it.
I'm not certain.
The rocket launcher.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
So Jim the Anvil Neidhart has Owen up on his shoulder and just launches him.
Oh yeah, off
the shoulder into Tanaka, who is already on the ground, and he just lies there in the pin to win. I suppose it's good. Yeah, really fun match.
Yeah, it was really cool. I enjoyed that match a lot.
It's good. Nice way to start.
it was nice to see Owen Hart pre-Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
Pre the feud with Bret Hart in, was it 94, 95? Mm-hmm. For me, the problem is that whenever I see Owen Hart, I'll instantly think of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because Owen Hart's the one that buggered his neck up, basically. So that's always going to be a bit of a thing for me, but I did enjoy watching him in this. I really did. He was good.
Good. No, things happen. It doesn't excuse things, but, you know. Yeah, so that was great. Then we went for a bit of a recap, which is more welcome when you haven't seen any of the stuff they're recapping before.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice.
This was from a house show, though. If that's what I'm thinking. You're thinking, what are you going to do tonight?
It was Bret Hart versus the Mountie.
Yeah, that was from a house show.
Right.
It's like a live show.
No one on TV would have seen it. Ah, okay. That's even more useful then. So we're showing the Mountie winning the Intercontinental.
Sorry, can you run that back? The Intercontinental. What?
I don't know. Intercontinental Championship.
What's in this?
Juice.
Oof, that is strong. That is strong.
Yeah, he wins the Intercontinental Championship from a very unwell Bret Hart.
Yeah, I think they said he had like a really high temperature of the flu.
Very high temperature. They were giving it in Fahrenheit, so I don't know what it was. But yeah, he wrestled against the advice of his doctor. So obviously doesn't feel like the loss should have been counted.
Yeah. It's a way of making him lose but keeping him look strong.
But he should have listened to the
Whether
doctor.
or not it was a work or a shoot, I do not know.
But following the win, Roddy Piper comes in for the assist. The Mountie attacks him, so then there's a bit of a feud with the two of them. And that's in the recap. Then they go to an interview. There's lots of interviews in this one.
Yes.
So we have the Mountie with Jimmy Hart have an interview where the Mountie's calling out Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think that the Bret Hart thing might have been a work.
Right.
Because the WrestleMania after this, Bret Hart challenges the winner of this match, I almost gave it away, for the Intercontinental title. And it's held as a fantastic match. And if I remember rightly, that one is, it's as Sheamus would say, it's a banger.
Yeah. I thought it was probably a work, the fever and everything, but you can never quite tell.
No, you never know, do you?
Then we have Roddy has an interview where he's responding to the Mountie in good old-fashioned standard WWF promo style. It's good stuff. And then we go into the match. Roddy Piper versus the Mountie with Jimmy Hart by his side for the Intercontinental Championship.
Hey,
I said it right.
She said it right.
For once. Yeah, it's a fun match. Lots of shenanigans.
So those new dentures are out for Christmas, isn't it?
So rude. Plenty of shenanigans, as you'd probably expect from Piper and the Mountie.
Jimmy Hart and the Mountie, you mean?
Well, yeah, Piper does stuff.
Well, yeah, but he's the good guy in this.
He's the good guy.
So they're not shenanigans. It's retaliation. He's the good guy.
Well, yeah. I found Roddy Piper is just amazing. That energy. I think I wrote it in the Rumble bit, but whenever he is on the screen, in whatever capacity, he's got this crazy energy that's just bouncing wall to wall. Just the way he speaks and the way he wrestles. Yeah. It's contagious and it just pulls you in. He's incredible.
He's literally is one of the best to never have held the main heavyweight championship.
It's amazing. Yeah. I love Roddy Piper.
So good.
And the contrast as well, because the Mountie is quite a sort of serious persona. So having those two together sort of, it's the contrast. It sets each other off.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Hart with his megaphone. Good old Jimmy Hart. So, yeah, Roddy ambushes the Mountie before the bell, because I guess if you know that the heel is going to be doing naughty things, then you want to get in there quick before they can do anything. So that made sense. He threw his kilt in his face. Yeah. Which is always fun. Commentators making fun of the skirt.
Like, calling Piper the good guy is probably the wrong thing to do. He's more like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He's almost like the Punisher of the WWF.
Definitely. I go straight to the finish. It's a great match. I very much enjoyed it. Roddy gets the Mountie into a sleeper hold, knocks him out for the win, and he's a new champion.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the sleeper finish. That caught me off guard. I was like, just like, wait, what? Okay, huh?
It's probably not his usual sort of style, I guess, is it?
I don't recall seeing many Piper matches from this era, so I'm not entirely certain.
Yeah. It's good.
The one thing I loved is that Piper was in this match is a consummate technician. Like the Mountie uses the ropes to break the pinfall at one point, and he just puts his foot on the ropes, and the ref sees it and he calls it off. So what Piper do? He gets up and he just sort of bonsai drops onto his leg, punishing him for using the ropes for cutting off the pin. Yep. I thought it was just really great storytelling, and it is storytelling.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought it was fantastic.
The hold has to break doesn't mean you can't take advantage of the position that he's in.
Yeah, Mountie wants to stick his leg on the rope. You're going to take advantage of it, right? We need to see more of that in this day and age.
Yes.
Because I thought that was fantastic.
So after the match ends, there's a shock stick that I guess the Mountie has.
It's like a cattle prod, basically.
Yeah. And Jimmy Hart tries to get Roddy with it, but Roddy Piper dodges expertly out of the way, grabbing the stick on the way past, and uses it on the still unconscious Mountie. Give him a bit of a rude awakening.
With ridiculous sound effect.
That you can tell isn't coming from it.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, but it was early 90s.
This is 90s, yeah.
Things have changed, and they'd still use terrible sound effects now, so things haven't changed that much.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Let me read it.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's autocorrect or if I've just forgotten what happened. Because this isn't right. Okay, I've got Alfred Hayes outside Bill's dressing room.
Bill?
It was outside Hulk Hogan's dressing room. Why have I got Bill on my notes?
I don't know.
It's Bill. I have no idea what happened there. Because how does Hulk turn into Bill? I have no idea. Anyway, he's outside the dressing room, goes in for an interview. I'm so used to, when the interview is outside the dressing room, that the person they're going to interview will be really, shifty about it and not want to talk to them.
Yeah.
But Hulk Hogan was like, yeah, come in.
Come on in, brother.
You're
friends of mine. It's fine. That kind of morphed into Macho Man Randy Savage a little bit there.
Ah, fine. So basically, Hulk is confident that he's going to win the championship back at the Rumble. So you can't go into the Royal Rumble and not be confident. Otherwise, what are you doing?
What's the point? Yeah. Oh, I might have a chance to win it.
Might do it.
I'm
going to try my best.
I might make it into the final 10, maybe.
Hi, I'm Hulk Hogan, and I think I might be alright at wrestling. I don't know. So yeah, that's that one. And then we have an interview with the Bushwhackers. With Jamison. I've not heard of this Jamison before. I was so distracted by him chewing on his tie the entire interview that I don't even know what was said. I didn't enjoy that character. It felt a bit like it's more punching down, if that's the right phrase to use.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'm not entirely certain why this Jamison thing was a thing. According to there's not much information, but apparently his name is Jamison Winger, and he's played by a comedian named John DiGiacomo.
Okay.
I've never heard of the actor. Jamison made a few appearances with the Bushwhackers in the late 80s and this one. It was a bit...
He's playing basically the village idiot, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a tie.
Pretty much.
I guess the kids might have found it funny, but it's just felt like it was too much, I suppose. Not my cup of tea. I guess maybe it just didn't age well, I don't know.
Maybe.
If you were watching in the early 90s, was it funny then?
This is going to sound really bad.
Oh no, you don't have to say it.
No, it's because when I saw this Jamison character, the first thing that popped in my head was Eugene. Uh-huh. And Eugene was something that really should never have been done, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And it's a joke, but it's not a joke that everyone can laugh at. It's taking the mick out of a certain kind of people.
Yeah, punching down, isn't it?
And I really don't like that.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable because you
It
can
is.
make. There's a lot of people that you're allowed to make fun of.
Yeah.
But
Like Rags, for example, or Leanne.
like sometimes it's just a bit cruel.
It's a bit
and it may
insensitive.
Be with the best of intentions, but it just didn't sit right. And the whole the slapstick kind of nature of it, and
then Bobby Heenan going hard on him as well during the commentary.
yeah,
Like Bobby Heenan didn't hold any punches.
no,
And I wouldn't expect him to.
it was like he had a sock in his pocket. He was blowing his nose in his sock, and then he had a bread roll.
Let's
yeah, that's enough said about Jamison.
Let's go into the match anyway.
So it was
that's where we're heading.
The Bushwhackers with Jamison.
Yeah.
And they were fighting the Beverly brothers with the Genius. So I suppose what they'd wanted was to have an intelligent versus a not intelligent kind of.
Pop quiz, Leanne.
Oh no.
Names of the Bushwhackers.
Nope.
Pop quiz number 2. Names of the Beverly brothers.
Nope.
Pop quiz number 3. You should get this one because I mentioned it when watching it. The Genius is related to whom?
Oh, I've forgotten.
Oh, Leanne.
I lose pop quiz. I'm not the genius.
It's Bushwhacker, Luke and Butch.
Luke and Butch.
Blake and Bo are the Beverly brothers.
Blake.
And the Genius is the brother of the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Right.
That's Lanny Poffo.
Okay. I will not remember this.
There will be another quiz.
Aw. So, the Genius reads a poem to start.
Yeah. Most likely his own composition. He does a lot of writing.
My gripe was that it was a limerick, which maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an English literature kind of person. The limerick just feels like the least geniusy of the poet types.
They might have been kind of poking fun at the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
It might have been something that he could have written that they may understand, you know?
May understood. Yeah. Okay, it's good. I mean, I think he did that quite a lot, didn't he, reading poems? Because I think I've seen one other match where he was there and he did a poem.
It was
then
SummerSlam 92, yeah. You will, well, I can't remember if you saw the induction of the Macho Man to the Hall of Fame, we did one then as well. Because he accepted it on his brother's behalf, because Macho Man had passed on by that point.
Oh, that's really
so he did write a poem for his brother, and he recited it at the Hall of Fame.
Okay. We're going to just skip over anything Jamison related. It's fine.
Come on, Max.
The Beverly brothers win with a double axe handle from the top, while the other one
went straight to the finish.
was holding them. I didn't enjoy this match, I gotta be said. I'm just skipping right through. I've written that this was a comedy relief match. It wasn't exactly terrible, but there wasn't much to it other than a few maybe borderline funny moments.
Yeah, like the Bushwhackers coming out and licking kids' heads.
Yeah. That's
I do think this match ran long. I do have the match list times here, and it ran for nearly 15 minutes. Oof. I do think this was too long for the particular teams. Like, the Beverly Brothers can go for 15 minutes and be super entertaining.
Yeah.
But the Bushwhackers get a bit... I like the Bushwhackers, don't get me wrong.
It was quite
samey. It felt a bit stale, yeah. It felt a bit stale after about 5 to 8 minutes.
The kids in the crowd seemed to be enjoying it. And
they just love doing that.
Yeah, they love doing that. And that kid who got his head licked looked like he enjoyed it, so...
You never get rid of that.
No, that would not happen now. But yeah,
Can I lick your kid's head? Can you sign this consent form? Make sure the camera gets it. Can I get my lawyer in to sign it as well?
And here's some sanitizing wipes for afterwards. There you
Can you sanitize before and after?
Oh, goodness. This was the low point of the event for me, I think. Partly because of Jamison and partly because, like you said, a long-running match with quite samey stuff.
Jamison was just... And then they show that shot of his shoe was taped up, and Bobby's like, "Oh, he's got tape in his shoe. What? He's oh, come on, really?"
Ha 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 ha! It's so funny. Not for me. All right, interview with the Legion.
We're not even going to cover that he punched the Genius or whatever it was. The hell he did, I don't even know. Let's carry on.
I've written it down, but I'm not even going to bother. Yeah, there's a thing happened. It's fine. Legion of Doom. They're saying they were fighting champions. They're calling out the natural disasters. And this is where we get my favourite quote from the event. So
here's Leanne's quote of the pay-per-view. Leanne's quote of the pay-per-view.
I need a new sign. They were saying how the natural disasters like to throw their weight around. And this brilliant line, we want to throw your weight around too.
Yeah. Hawk come up with some of the best one lines.
So good, so good. Because obviously natural disasters have a lot of weight to be thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably about 500-600 pounds, I reckon.
Big guys. And then that leads into the match. So we've got...
843.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh. Yes, the match. Natural disasters, earthquake and typhoon.
Hey.
I know these names. With Jimmy Hart
Yep.
by their side. He's having a fun outing this time around. Versus Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
Great match.
It was.
It's good. I've got more typos in my notes. Don't worry about it. It's basically two big men against two bigger men.
Two thick men against
men.
two thick men of a different kind, I guess.
Thick men.
Which one's which?
I'll leave that to you guys.
Wait.
There's just the showcase of strength from everyone, just being able to throw each other's weight around.
Animal picked up, I think it was Typhoon.
Yes. It was crazy.
And then obviously kind of just, you saw it, he fell backwards.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
But he got
the fact that he got him up there, he was holding him parallel to the floor. And I was like, what? Sorry, what?
Yeah, there was one point where Earthquake was going to, I think drop kick is the word. It's going to drop kick Hawk, so 2 legs up and you land on your back kind of thing. But Hawk avoided it, so Earthquake is on the ground, looking shook. Earthquake, shook. Yeah, I have no follow up. That was just, I just had to say that, so that's why I put that in.
New year, same rubbish jokes.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Welcome
and then...
to the Alan Presents.
Oh, Rex is trying to eat my notes.
Hey.
Which is difficult when it's on a phone.
Yeah, don't do that. It's an Apple device, Rags, but you can't eat it.
So this match ends with...
Oh no, product placement. Whoops.
Not sponsored, not affiliated.
Nope.
Although we might like to be.
Yeah. Hit us up, Apple.
The natural disasters win because the brawl spills out to the outside and the ref does a very quick
It was a ridiculous
10 count.
Yeah.
Usually for
well.
counting out, it's quite a slow count because they're like, 1, come on guys, get in. 2, but it was just the speed of a pin count.
Yeah, it wasn't far off it, yeah.
So yeah, natural disasters win.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the Hebners as well. I can't remember because there's twins, I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So once the win happens, Jimmy Hart gets in the ring and he's holding the belts. And we're like,
Nope.
Nope. Because they can't win the championship unless it's pinfall or submission. So they don't win. So
yeah, you can't win on a disqualification or a count out.
Not allowed. So Legion of Doom retain even though they didn't win. So of course we go back to the back where there's an interview with Jimmy Hart, who's very upset.
I think Sean Mooney was waiting for him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was Sean Mooney.
And Jimmy Hart's going to call his lawyers. He's not going to stand for this. And I was yelling at the TV, it's the rules. You know the rules.
She was.
It's not something you can contest with a lawyer. But yeah, no.
It's Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart did such a great job of managing and being a heel manager. It's fantastic.
It's good. And obviously the natural disasters then followed him and were very upset. And probably led to a rematch at some point, I imagine.
It did at some point, yeah.
Because, of course, you can't have a match that someone's not happy about and then not have a rematch. Okay, and then we go to a nice set of interviews.
Oh, this is the quick fire round.
We have some real interviews first. So there's Roddy Piper saying that he's very confident that he will win the Rumble and he would get his second title in one night, which would be incredible. I kind of wanted that to happen, but whatever.
I think Rex is up to something. I'm just going to investigate that. 2 seconds. Carry on.
Okay. Then there's an interview with Shawn Michaels, where he is also confident that he's going to win, and we get a nice clip of Shawn Michaels betraying Marty Jannetty on the barber shop, which is always fun to watch.
Yep, putting through that plate glass window.
And then, typos. Apparently there was then an internet with Ric Flair. An interview. I'm typing fast because I want to get back to watching. It's hard.
Maybe you should start doing voice notes or dictation.
So this was where the Ric Flair interview you told me afterwards is like an exclusive for the video.
Was it that one where he revealed his...
Yes. He said that he drew number 3.
Yeah, it was a Coliseum video home video exclusive.
Because then the commentators afterwards were saying they don't know when Ric Flair's coming out, so I was a little bit confused. So you explained to me that the only people that would have seen that are the people who watched it on the home video.
Yeah.
Or us on WWE Network.
That wouldn't have even been on the live feed. That would have just been after it came out on cassette tape at that point.
Which is quite an interesting way to do it, and a good way to sell videos if you've got exclusive content on there.
It's the same in these days with DVDs and Blu-rays when they're releasing them now. The what event was it? Oh god, I can't remember what event it was. Survivor Series. They've put the listing of the Survivor Series Blu-ray, and they've included the post-press conference on the disc, on the actual Blu-ray disc. So they're starting to put extra features and stuff on there. Which is cool.
Then we had the quick round. This is like talking head kind of comments things, just a brief promo from a few people. And it was Macho Man, Randy Savage, Sid Justice, Repo Man, British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, Jake the Snake, Ric Flair with Mr. Perfect, The Undertaker with Paul Bearer, and Hulk Hogan, who...
What you gonna do, brother?
He started facing... It's probably on purpose, but he was, like, facing you and, like, talking that way. And then he started facing that way. I'm guessing he does it on purpose, but it was a bit weird.
Hulk is not
a bit
weird.
Like, who are you talking to? We're over here. Come on.
Hello, Hulk.
Hello.
On camera, hello.
And then we go to the Royal Rumble.
Are you going to blitz through all 30 competitors, or are you just going to...
Well, the way I did my notes, I wrote each person that entered and in between, like, a brief comment, but I think that's still quite long and not very interesting. So, I think we can blitz through who entered and then talk about some of the interesting bits.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Cool. So this is the Royal Rumble for the to be the undisputed WWF Heavyweight Champion. Undisputed because it has been disputed, and now it's not. Because these days the undisputed sort of is when they're uniting titles kind of thing. Yeah. So we start with a brief statement from President Jack Tunney. Yeah, I had to ask you who he was.
Yes.
That's fine. You don't get much of the...
No, it's not really a
clever
thing
people
much anymore.
coming
Yeah,
out.
not the presidential stuff.
Yeah, it's always going to be like the McMahons will come out and say a thing, or Triple H might say a thing, but very rarely.
Technically, at this point, Triple H is a McMahon.
In a way.
If you think about it.
He'd probably have taken the name if Vince asked him to.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Okay.
Hunter Hearst McMahon.
So we start with British Bulldog and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Who came out with Sherry.
Sherry myself.
It started off really explosive, which is great, and DiBiase goes out straight away.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have a bit of this at the start with just like ins and outs kind of thing. So then we've got Ric Flair. Hang on. Have I missed something? No. Sags of the Naughty Boys.
Naughty Boys.
What is it? That's what I've written.
The Naughty Boys.
I don't know what is it.
Oh dear God.
What is it?
Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys. It wasn't coming up on the screen, so I was trying to listen to the commentators and my brain got muddled. That was
when
me,
you
not
asked
my
me,
phone.
you said, which one of the Nasty Boys is it?
I don't know, I wrote naughty. Don't worry about it.
And I've only just realised Knobs wasn't in there.
No, he
Nasty Boy
wasn't.
in there.
So, yeah, Sags and
Of the Naughty Boys.
That's what I'm calling them now. Haku,
God.
Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana, The Barbarian,
Yeah.
Texas Tornado,
Yeah.
Repo Man,
Yeah.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah, close enough. It's just Russian or so yeah, Volkov.
Volkov.
Is how it's spelled, but it is Volkov. Yeah.
Big Boss Man.
Yep.
Hercules.
Yep.
Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Jake the Snake Roberts. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
IRS. Jimmy Snooker. Macho. Oh wait, Undertaker.
Oh, almost.
Undertaker with Paul Bearer.
Yep.
Macho Man. Berserker with Mr. Fuji, who comes out again. Virgil. Colonel Mustafa. Rick Martel. Oh, spell check. Hulk Hogan.
Is this what would they call it? What do you put in your sorry?
Well, this is Bull Hogan. I don't know. Oh, dear me. Skinner.
Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter, Sid Justice, the Warlord with Harvey Winkleman.
Whippleman.
Winkleman.
Winkleman. Harvey Whippleman.
I'm trying.
I know you're trying. You're very trying.
Is that's it? That's it.
30.
That's it. Oh, that's a lot of people. 30.
It's 30 exactly.
30 whole people.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
Harvey Winkleman. Wow.
It's close, okay? His name wasn't on the screen. I was trying my best. Yeah, okay. So things that stood out to me. How often, particularly British Bulldog, but there were some others as well, would do the strength thing of lifting someone right over their heads and then not tip them over the top rope. They just slam them, which great, it's a move, but you could have got them out. There was no way that they could have stopped you from getting them out. Fair enough, it might have been dangerous tipping them out from that high, but you had them above rope level. There you go. You know, it's for a different purpose, isn't it?
Winkleman.
You're gonna be stuck on that for ages. I'm
I don't know
never
what's
gonna live
better,
this
that
down.
or the Naughty Boys.
I felt like quite a long pay-per-view, and I was.
It was actually one of the
tired.
shortest. It was like 2 hours 39.
I was tired. Yeah, like at the start we had quite a lot of ins and outs. It was like 2 or 3 at a time. When the Barbarian came in, that was when you had 5 people in at the same time, and it started feeling really like a Royal Rumble and chaos and stuff. I feel like they sort of quite good now at going in between, having someone able to clear the ring and have a minute to recover, and also having all that chaos. I feel like they lean more towards the chaos side of things.
I prefer that.
Yeah.
I prefer the chaos.
I think it's quite fun if you can get quite a few in the ring, and then all of a sudden there's just one left. That's quite a good, like, oh my goodness, how did that happen kind of thing.
They had a cool thing. I can't remember which year it was. I think it was 96, but don't quote me on that one. Stone Cold was feuding with Bret Hart still, and Austin was in the Rumble, and he was throwing people. As soon as someone came out, he'd beat them up, he'd stun them or whatever, and he'd throw them out. And then he'd be there sitting on the ropes, and he'd be like, just waiting for the next person to come out, and then Bret Hart comes out. There's this great visual of the music stinging and hitting, and Austin's just like,
yeah.
I always remember that. It's great. I love that.
You can have some great Rumble moments.
Yeah.
I've got written down here, Repo Man doesn't walk anywhere. He only sneaks. He must have terrible posture.
He's got one. Sneaking.
Just like walking to the ring, sneaking. Just walking like a few steps in the ring, down again, sneaking. Like, way to stick to the character. That's great.
Fair play to him.
It's one of the more cartoony of them.
He's committed. Give him
Definitely. Shawn Michaels seems to really enjoy hanging off the top rope.
Well, that I did not know. Repo Man used to be Smash of Demolition.
Oh. Yeah, I know it's quite a few times. Shawn Michaels would take a bump.
Yeah.
That wouldn't usually make you bounce to the top rope.
Oh,
but he went up to the top rope.
Shawn Michaels is a flippy floppy kind of wrestler at this point.
Like, just like, I feel like an armbar could have sent him to the top rope at this point. Like, just spent half the time hanging on to it. Like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff. Yeah, you had a few moments where quite a lot of people got eliminated at the same time.
Yeah.
Like at one point you had
in the 2-minute gap between people entering, have I written that right? Probably not. Oh dear, I'm gonna embarrass myself now.
Oh, here we go.
It says Hammer.
Hammer? Oh no, correct, the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, that's all right. Hammer, Repo Man, Bulldog, the Tornado, and Shawn Michaels all eliminated just before Hercules comes out.
Okay.
Hercules and Barbarian, I feel like I didn't see anything of them.
Yeah.
But you know, that was fine.
I think one that did have a really good outcome was Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
When he came in, he just went bulldoze through everyone.
Oh
It was
yeah.
great.
Clearing house.
Ranks.
Oh, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make an earthquake. Watch out! Typhoon might be nearby.
Off you go.
There he
Good
goes.
boy.
Sorry for the shakiness.
Good boy.
It's Cat's fault. Yeah, this is where I'd written. Piper has some crazy energy that I don't think I'll ever get tired of watching. Those are the words I wrote. I stand by them. Is amazing.
One thing that I probably should have covered when you were doing the promo stuff is Piper and Jake the Snake Rob especially in common have that they don't like Hulk Hogan or Macho Man or Ric Flair and they're shouting and they what you gonna do and oh yeah and that kind of stuff. Jake he kind of tones it down.
Yeah, they go so quiet.
Roddy Piper tones it down.
So it makes you listen.
Undertaker
harder, doesn't it?
tones it down and you've got to pay attention to hear what they're saying and I prefer that kind of energy.
It builds that intensity. It was great.
I like that kind of energy in that, yeah. And same with Sid. Sid Justice did the same as well.
Yeah.
He's just, again, he's this like nearly 7-foot guy. He looks massive, he's intimidating, but he's just, talks so quiet. And I'm going to win the Rumble. And I'm going to throw 29. And you've really got to sort of focus on what he's saying. It's like, oh, that's great.
It was so good. It's a great technique.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed when Macho Man was coming in. And you get that storytelling with Jake.
Oh, Jake Snake, yeah.
He's like, he runs.
Jake dives out of the ring and just lays down on the floor on the other side of the ring.
Yeah.
And Macho Man's in the ring and he's like...
Where is he? Because they've obviously got a feud because, was it Jake slapped Sherry? Or something?
No,
Something
Sherry's
happened.
with...
No, wrong lady.
Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth. Yeah, he slapped someone that Macho
Well,
Man
if
likes.
my timelines are a bit fuzzy on this one, but if the wedding has taken place at this point, the wedding had a present and it was a snake inside.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that would make anyone mad.
Yeah, and obviously there were
unless you really like snakes.
kerfuffle and a rumble and fights and whatnot. But yeah.
I love the word kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
I think we should use that more.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah. So Jake likes it. After a kerfuffle, Jake is eliminated.
By Randy Savage.
And then there was a bit of a confusion, I think.
Yes.
Because after Jake goes, Macho Man leaves the ring to follow him.
Yeah, he jumps over the top rope.
Over the top rope.
Just start beating him up on the floor.
Oh, he's gone. He's eliminated.
Yeah.
And the commentators are saying, oh, he's been eliminated, I think. Has he? And then there's this whole debate. And then they're saying that because he wasn't thrown over by someone else, he's not eliminated.
See, but that's not the point. Is if you go over the top rope, doesn't matter who threw you or if you jumped over, you're out. And it even says here, Randy Savage eliminated himself shortly after eliminating Jake the Snake Roberts by jumping to Roberts over the top rope. However, he returned to the ring and resumed his participation. He shouldn't have, because once you've gone over the top rope and both feet have hit the floor, you're out. You're done.
But apparently not. He was allowed back in by the refs and the commentators sort of spun it to make it work.
Imagine Ricochet. Okay, imagine Ricochet jumping up to the top rope.
And doing he does the flippy stuff
and
over.
Falling.
Yeah, that would be out.
Let's say he slips and he lands outside. He's out. He's done. He's gone. That's it. Both feet are on the floor.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Go take a shower. You know?
Yeah, that's very true. So it's a bit of a controversy, but I suppose would have been more of a controversy had he won. If he'd won, then it would have probably been a whole thing, and fans would have been outraged. Randy
Savage was a favourite, so it probably would have had it, but it would have probably led into a story between him and Flair and him and Hogan and him and Taker or whoever was in there last, you know.
Another fun moment with Sergeant Slaughter just flying face first into the ring post. That looked nasty.
That looked brutal.
It looked real.
Well, face first or chin first?
It's the same thing.
I mean, yeah, but the chin is like...
Yeah,
the chin's like 90% of Sergeant Slaughter's face.
Hopefully that helped, the
cushion
armor.
the blow a little bit. Yeah.
No, it looked bad, but he was eliminated after that. Yeah, and then he
by Sid.
By Sid, yes. Oh, my notes are a mess. Oh my goodness. I need to proofread before we come into videos next time.
I do keep telling her.
You don't? Well, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay. So Justice eliminates the Hulk.
The Hulk. So Bruce Banner got in the ring and he hulked out.
Hulk. And Hulk obviously is not happy. So grabs Justice's arm and pulls him down. And that counts as elimination.
Oh, well, no, Flair tipped him as well.
Oh, yeah, Flair
does
help.
tip him.
He tipped him out. And that's how Flair wins. He's the last man standing.
Woo!
So really, he owes his victory to Hulk Hogan.
And at this point, he's the longest running... what's the word am I using? At this point, so the year previous was Rick the Model Martel, lasted some, I think it was 52 minutes or something like that. I mentioned it a few times. And Ric Flair lasts over an hour, and this one wins it. And then they're quite pushing it as well. Like, nobody who started from positions 1 through 5 has ever been in the final sort of few men in the Royal Rumble, and then Ric Flair's number 3 and he wins it. Supposedly, that was a Bobby the Brain Heenan idea. Mentions in autobiography that it was his initial suggestion that Flair enter the Royal Rumble at number 1 for dramatic purposes. And Vince McMahon changed it to number 3 and then claimed it as his own idea.
That sounds very
To the surprise of literally no one.
Yeah. So after Flair wins, he goes off to the back. And in the ring, you have Hulk and Sid Justice arguing and fighting. Yeah. And a whole lot of officials trying to separate them.
That's 2 big men.
That's 2
like
big
Hulk's
men.
like 6'6", 6'7", Sid's like 6'10", 6'11".
So I imagine they had a bit of a storyline then.
Yeah, well, I know they fought at
probably.
WrestleMania that year.
Yeah, sounds good. And then we go to the back where we have Flair, and Jack Tunney presents him with the belt.
Yep.
We're allowed to say belt because they were allowed to say it back then.
Yep, and Bobby the Brain is there, Mr. Perfect's there.
It's a good show. It was great.
With on thing to that, in his book, I'm just reading off the page again. In his book, To Be the Man, Ric Flair mentions not knowing that he was going to be winning the Royal Rumble and the title until arriving at the arena at the day of the event.
Oh, wow.
And also felt he was brought in at number 3 in order to showcase his skills and endurance to the WWF audience, who may not have watched his work in Jim Crockett Promotions or World Championship Wrestling, aka WCW. So it was a way to sort of expose him to...
it worked.
I always hit and miss with Flair with some of the stuff he does, like when he gets beaten up so much and then he sort of just staggers out the corner and then face plants, and it's like, well...
He doesn't stagger out of the corner. He marches.
He kind of struts, yeah.
It's like completely upright, arms going, 3 steps down. It's so fake. That is so fake.
Yeah, but it's Flair. It's vintage Flair.
It's Flair.
You recognise it, you know.
If someone did it now, it would be a no. But because he did it way back, he's allowed.
Yeah.
I think he's earned it.
So yeah, what do you think of this ad?
I really enjoyed it. I did. I think that the Royal Rumble itself was obviously the highlight. It was very good, very very fun, and surprises, lots of eye pokes and all sorts.
Eye gouges in it.
I love that these days, if there's an eye poke, it's like a secret sort of eye gouge. But here, especially with Roddy Piper, it's
Blink. It's just straight in, yeah.
just blatant. I mean, fair enough, you're not going to get disqualified for it in a Royal Rumble, so you can be blatant with it.
Well, I think he did to the Mountie in the match as well. So.
I think so. It's great. It's
then
good
the ref
stuff.
probably let that leniency because the Mountie was a cheating scumbag anyway.
Yeah.
So is there anyone that you thought, ooh, I want to see more of those?
I want to see more Roddy Piper.
Well, no, you said that on the
it still
Battle
stands.
Royal, the Royal Albert Hall video. So
Yeah,
is there anyone
that's
else?
true. Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I mean, like, you've been watching for a long time, so how would you say this compares to, like, contemporary Royal Rumbles, as Royal Rumbles go?
I like the energy in this Rumble. I find that for me, the Royal Rumble can be very hit and miss. The actual Royal Rumble match itself.
Yeah.
It can be very hit or miss. It can be full, like, oh yeah, go on, yes, okay, oh, we're number 30 already?
Yeah.
Really? Or it can be like, oh god, we're only at number 8. This is going to take some time, isn't it?
I did find in this one, after a while, I was like, there's more.
For me, I was like, oh, okay, we're getting close to the end now. We must be. And then there was like, this was like Undertaker comes out. He's like 20, and I'm like, What?
There's so much more.
What?
You forget how many people 30 people is, I think.
Yeah, but this is the testament that the guys who were in that order, like especially when like Jake the Snake hit the ring and Big Boss Man and even Ric Flair, and the beginning with British Bulldog and Ted DiBiase, they really set that standard by just going hammer and nail straight into each other right at the beginning, and that really set the tone for it. And I just loved the entire energy throughout this entire Rumble. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's some really great athletes in this, as I say, or Texas Tornado's no longer with us. He was great. Greg the Hammer Valentine, you don't really see him much or hear much of him.
No.
Roddy Piper, Jake Roberts, actors from Juggin, IRS.
Yeah.
That's Bray Wyatt's dad.
Yeah.
Jim Rotundo. Even Jimmy Snooker's in this. And it's like, what? Jimmy Snooker? Really? And the thing that threw me with Jimmy Snooker is he's wearing boots. What? But no, I did enjoy this. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Who was it? It was the one person that I recognised but had no idea the name. I've lost it now. Is it Colonel Mustafa?
Oh, the Iron Sheik.
Who is the Iron Sheik? I'd never heard of the Colonel Mustafa.
Yeah, no, that threw me as well. I was like, wait, no, that's the Iron Sheik.
I know that person.
Wait, what? I had to look that one up.
That is not their name.
I had to look that up.
It's
he was in a tag team with Sergeant Slaughter at this point.
But he's so recognisable.
Well, this is when Sergeant Slaughter's a heel because he became an Iraqi sympathiser. And this is during the Gulf War. So they flipped that so hard on its head.
They had some storylines. Well, they still have some storylines, but I mean, back in the day.
I don't think they'd get away with anything like that.
No, they couldn't.
Not today.
No.
The same with 1993 SummerSlam with Yokozuna as the WWF champion and Lex Luger as the token American.
Yeah.
Needs to on Independence Day go and July 4th go and body slam or someone needs to go and pick up Yokozuna and slam him, and they got loads of people come to try it, and then Lex Luger comes out and he does it, and then they lead into SummerSlam and they keep stifling Luger because he's got this metal plate in his arm for surgery, and they make him sort of wear this padded arm pad and everything, and they kind of, but it's very much a anti-American storyline against the American hero.
Yeah.
And it was the same in the Attitude Era with Bret the Hitman Hart and the Hart Foundation. They were the heels, the Canadians who hated America.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd really get away with that these days.
It was very popular back in those days with the whole us versus them thing, and now we're more sensitive to that sort, to like.
They did.
We're all people.
There was one it's probably close to 10 years ago now. Actually, I think it was. I want to say it was called the League of Nations. Wade Barrett, Sheamus, Rusev. I'm sure there was at least another one or two in there as well, but it was like all like European countries and that, and they were like, oh, American conspiracies, and we hate America, and we're here to show the world real European talents can do all this kind of stuff, and it was like, what?
So you can get away with it a little bit more with Europe against America, but it hasn't got. But
it died on his ass. Nobody liked it.
Is it.
Nobody liked it. It was awful.
But yeah, I'm glad they've moved away from that sort of thing. They can do much more interesting things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Favorite match?
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. Without the Royal Rumble on there, let's just say it's the standard sort of 4 matches at the beginning. Favorite match? I'm
between two.
Yeah, I think I know which two.
I think I'm gonna go with New Foundation and Orient Express. Yeah. Yes.
I think that is up there, but for me, I think it was Natural Disasters and Legion of Doom. Because one, Legion of Doom is one of my all-time favourite teams. Yeah. Because they are just so good. But I feel that the Orient Express didn't really get much of a showing.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was very leaned heavily towards the New Foundation.
Yeah.
Probably because they've just got together and they're kind of showcasing their talent. But I feel there needs to be give and take.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what you had with the Natural Disasters and the Legion of Doom. They both gave, they both took. Yeah. And I felt that was a well more rounded match. Cool. Least favourite match.
You already know my least favourite
match. The Beverly
match.
Brothers versus the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
Because of Jamison.
By a country mile. It was terrible. Sorry. Didn't like it.
Brilliant. Okay. Take us home, Leanne.
Thank you so much for watching. It's been lovely to have you here. So this video, as we said before, is by a request. And we've had quite a few requests in, and with our schedule at the moment and life as well, we're finding it a bit tricky to get to everything. So we had a chat and thought, at the moment, we had a
sit-down stern discussion.
We had a discussion. We're going to call it on new requests for
Yeah.
a while.
You're just hitting that pause button.
Yes, so we're hoping
Pause.
to get to things that we've already had requests.
Pause.
So if you've requested something, don't worry about it, it's on the list. But then we will let you know on social media when requests are back open. So if you don't mind, just
Yeah,
you know,
so if you do want
hold
to
on
sort
to
of
them.
throw in requests, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
those ones. Yeah.
Linktree.
Write your ideas down. Hold
Send them on a
to them.
postcard. P.O. Box.
We don't have a PO box.
We don't.
Hold on to them, and then when we open back requests, fire away, and then we'll probably regret it and close them again.
Yeah.
But it's fine, yeah.
Like 3 hours will be inundated. Like, ah!
Yeah, so
Cool.
keep an eye out for that. If you want to find our socials in a nice, easy way, you'll find our Linktree link in the description below. So that'll take you to our social medias, and it's also a handy place to see what our recent videos are in our different categories. So if you're looking for anything specific, it's a good place to go. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. We appreciate all of you guys and all the new subscribers we've been getting. I mean, it's crazy. It's still going up.
Mm-hmm. It's
Amazing.
going in the right direction, which we really
thank
enjoy.
you so much. Tell your friends. We want more.
We're like the Royal Rumble. We want to see him keep on coming.
Let us know in the comments who your dream Royal Rumble would be.
Who your dream Royal Rumble would be?
Give us your dream Royal Rumble.
So
30 wrestlers.
okay.
From across time. Let us know who you'd like to see.
Hasn't even got to be WWF. Could be any company.
Go for it. Let us know.
WCW, Ring of Honor, Jim Crockett Promotions.
I really hope people comment now because I'm interested in hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. And until next time.
Don't get thrown over any top ropes.
And don't go over yourself because you're eliminated. Bye!